Hey, hello. It's 1 o'clock, so Friday. So Marsha Grace here, your modern meditation mentor, as usual. And I'm here. I'm amazed at myself that I'm here no matter what. So I am still experiencing eye issues. The latest is that the healing is going a lot more slowly than I was hoping it would, but that is normal, as my doctor says. So I have to learn patience, as a good friend of mine told me recently. So I'm working on it. And but then on top of that, I got a nice little cold. So here I am with a stuffed head, but I'm here nonetheless. And today I want to talk about something that we all, two things that we all do all the time, okay? And consciously or unconsciously. And that is giving and receiving. So there's a lot to be said about this particular topic, but I bring it up because, first of all, somebody gave me this nice cold, which I'm not very grateful for, but maybe I should be. Who knows? It's another opportunity for me to push ahead and recognize that my spirit is strong regardless of what my body is doing. So that's a good thing. So there's the giving. There's one aspect of giving, and of course that was totally unconscious on the part of wherever I got this cold from. But there are many ways to look at giving. And so, we give gifts, right? We give birthday gifts, we give holiday gifts, and those are usually pretty conscious, or at least we're consciously aware that we're giving a gift. Whether or not the other person receiving the gift likes the gift is another story. We'll talk about that when we talk about receiving. But, all right, so we give gifts. And we give lots of things, though, right? We give advice. We give advice to people. We give our energy in many, many different forms. For instance, if you're angry, my hair keeps falling in my eye. If you're angry, you're giving out angry vibes, right? And if you're giving out angry vibes, the people around you are going to most likely retreat. They're not going to. They're going to get on the defensive because that's just what people do. So that will certainly not improve your relationships, right? If you're upset or anxious, same thing. People are going to be. They're good. You're going to make them anxious and upset if they so choose. Of course, that's a choice, but most people don't realize that. And so, again, relationships suffer under those conditions. If we're sad, any of those kinds of emotions, people tend to pick them up and either they commiserate with you, which a good friend, of course, would do. A good friend who sees that you're angry would realize you were not angry at them, but angry at something else and try to help you, and that would be a good thing. But if it wasn't a good friend, they would just run away, probably. So when I talk about giving, that's the way I guess we generally can think about giving, is that we're either giving things or we're giving emotions or energy that other people are going to pick up on, and depending on what kind of energy we're sending out is what we're going to get back. Which reminds me of that, and I'm sure you've all seen that circle, the yin yang symbol that shows. It's like a teardrop, I guess, half and half, half black, half white. Inside this circle, and that to me is a sign or an example of giving and receiving, that they are interconnected within this circle. So they're really one thing, but they appear to be two different things, but they're really connected, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so all right, so we understand that giving comes in many, many different forms, and we're doing it all the time. Of course, when we're doing it consciously, hopefully we're coming from our higher self. And that self is presenting a gift in whatever form it is, whether it's an actual thing or some form of help or information or whatever it is we're giving, that is given from our higher self, which is also always given with love. So whatever form that takes, okay, it can show up in many different ways. So that's what we're working toward. That's what I'm working toward, and I'm hoping you're working toward that as well, is to be in a state of conscious giving most of the time, so that whatever it is you're giving, you're doing it consciously, and it's coming from your higher self, right? All right, now when we talk about receiving, which is the other half of that yin-yang, right? When we're talking about receiving, it works this kind of the same way, right? It's the same way. If you are not aware of what is it with this hair today? I don't know. It keeps falling in my eye. If you were receiving something, a gift, let's say gift first, right? You receive a gift from someone, and it's your birthday, what have you, and let's say you don't like the gift, right? It's not something you can use, or it's not your size or color or whatever it is, and you're not very happy with it. So how do you respond to that will be determined by the state of consciousness in which you receive that gift. So if you're coming from your ego, or that part of you that doesn't love you and doesn't really want to see your relationships be very successful, you are going to, indicate that you're not pleased with the gift. And that, of course, will be unfortunate to the person who gave you the gift, out of the goodness of their heart, I'm assuming, because they'll feel hurt that you didn't like their gift. Now, I have a solution for that. I'll tell you that in a second. So that's a problem that you can resolve very easily, because the way you can resolve that is, I have to put a pillow under my elbow here. Thank you. Okay, because it hurts. All right. I'm holding the phone with my hand. So it's the only way I can get on Facebook Live these days. So, okay, so if you're receiving the gift from your higher self, on the other hand, you're going to receive it lovingly. You're going to be grateful. You're going to say thank you, even if it's the most horrendous thing you ever saw, because you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, and because it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can always re-gift it or what have you. So, so there's two ways in which to receive a gift. When it comes to receiving things from, excuse me, I'm now beginning to cough from this cold. Oh boy. So, if you're receiving advice from someone, same thing. Depending on how you're receiving that advice. Are you receiving it from your higher self, in which case you'll say thank you whether you use that advice or not. It will be determined by your own decision making. And if not, if it's coming from that little devil on your other shoulder, then you might react negatively, in which case, who knows what could happen. Right? Okay, so we're talking about these different aspects of giving and receiving. And I said I was going to give you a little hint. What I do when it comes to, especially my birthday or some other holiday or whatever, Christmas or what have you, when it comes to getting a gift, I like to tell my family what I want. It's the easiest way. And they like that. They really do, because then they know that whatever it is that they get from me, I'm going to really want. And so that works out very well. So that's what I do, and it resolves a lot of issues that might be, uncomfortable or disappointing, right? So you could try that out if you like. Okay. So, all right. So my point here about giving and receiving, if I haven't made it clear by now, is that the two things are completely connected. When we give, we receive. And the way you know this is because as soon as you put out something to someone, you're going to get a reaction. All right? So you're giving, they're receiving. And that's the reaction based on what you gave them. So isn't that wonderful to know? Because now I am in control of my relationships in a way I was never aware of before, because now I can be conscious of how I give whatever it is that I give, whether it's a thing, whether it's an idea, whether it's a helpful hint, whether it's a suggestion, whatever it is. And I can do that consciously, and I can do that from my higher self. And of course, that's what I teach, right? I teach people how to come from their higher self more and more often. It's a process, doesn't happen overnight, but it's something that we can all learn to do so that we can have more loving relationships. We can be healthier. I'm telling you, you will be healthier. Maybe you'll still get a cold, but you'll be in a lot better shape to handle it. And you'll have better relationships. So, and all of those things will make your business, improve, and everything else. So, so this is why I like to talk about these things, because when we focus on nurturing our higher self, that's the part of us that's connected to the source, whatever you want to call it, that knows what we really need and when we need it, and will tell us. But we have to do a couple of things to prepare for it and to actually be able to accomplish it. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, of course, join my my private Facebook group, which is Calm, Creative, Joyful for the Busy Entrepreneur. You can join that. And there you'll get a guided meditation every Wednesday. It'll be a little reel with a little hint of the week. On Tuesdays and Mondays, we have a meme, with a inspirational idea. Fridays, of course, is our Facebook Live, and so on. So you can join there and start a conversation if you like. I would love to get the conversations going there, and love to share with people. So please feel free. That's Calm, Creative, Joyful for the Busy Entrepreneur on Facebook. And I have started my Course in Miracles program, which I'm calling Miracle Mastery Mind Gatherings, but I've had to put it on hold because I cannot see anything on my computer. And so I don't know where the buttons are to push things, and I can't read what people are saying, or it's just impossible. So I'm waiting for my eyesight to return to some semblance of normality so that I can see stuff. But if you are interested, you can send me a message, or email me at mg@marshagrace.com, and I'll be happy to have a chat with you. All right, so that's my message for today. And because tomorrow is Earth Day, I wanted to share, I don't know, can you see my, my bunch of, right there. I think you're seeing it, I hope. That's my akuba. I cut some branches off my akuba bushes outside because I love them. They look tropical, right? They're the yellow speckled leaves. They look very tropical, and yet it's an evergreen shrub. Stays that way all winter long and grows fast and is easy to replicate. You just cut off a piece, stick it in water, and before you know it, in a few weeks you have some roots and you have a new plant. So I adore this particular plant, and I'm hoping to plant some of those else in different locations for Earth Day tomorrow. So I hope you do something. Give something, right? Give something of yourself tomorrow for Earth Day, and for every day. Be aware that every moment you are giving of yourself, and do it consciously, do it lovingly, and do it with spirit. Okay. All right. Take care. Have a great weekend and a great week, and see you next time. Bye-bye.